19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3.
The animation was very well done. I think it does take a lot for animation to look good, especially in the three-dimensional form, and I'm pretty sure it took a long while to do that. But I do want to salute the animators for what they made. It was very well done. Now, in terms of the themes and the title, Found You. So I really do enjoy how the one character, we're following him along and we're seeing his conflict and his interpersonal tension for being discovered, being found out for who he truly is inside, and sort of him running away from that. And then having the other character um, sort of come in and being that sort of adversary. It seems as an adversary in the beginning, but we find out later that it's not an adversary, and he's sort of like chasing him to discover something that he's not quite sure that he will as well. And so the wolf character, as he begins to transform, eventually is fully transformed into a wolf. And then there's this sort of shame aspect and element that comes in when he's discovered by the pursuer. And I really did enjoy that sort of the scene where he cowers away. But I also really loved the sort of transformation again um, from the pursuing into a butterfly or sort of creature that he was. And so with the title, I think what was really well done is to be found, is to be discovered, which is to be seen. And so both of them saw each other and they were accepted for who they truly were. And then they also found their true sort of identity. And so I think that was very, maybe not so direct, but I do appreciate how that was sort of weaved in.
Very impressive animation. You start off with these two characters playing hide and seek in the woods, but the one that's hiding, is starting to turn into a wolf and morph into a wolf. And it seems like it's happening at the worst possible times. Clearly doesn't want anyone to know that this is an aspect of their identity. So goes to great lengths to not be found. However, she is found, but she realizes at that point that she isn't the only one with the secret. The person that's seeking her actually has their own hidden identity that they now feel compelled to share, to show that we really aren't that different after all. So when you say found you, it makes me feel like, so I found the real you. And and it gave a deeper meaning to the ending dialogue, found you.
First of all, it's always wonderful to see independently produced animation, especially when it's done this well. Animation was great. Um, I love the whole meaning of the whole thing. Just it starts off very spooky, and you think something bad's going to happen, and something bad does happen. And he turns into, a wolf, and but then at the end, when we find that the other kid is this butterfly fairy, and they just sit down and become friends. It's just very very sweet, heartwarming, in a very kind of dark goth way. So great use of just tone to produce some irony and surprise there at the end, and to also give us just a really sweet meaning to this kind of spooky story.
The animation was very, very, very well done. It was like done in a style of, I guess, like stop motion animation, even if it wasn't stop motion animation. Um, but I love how well designed the characters were. It was really easy to identify their characteristics and personalities just through the way that they were animated and with their clothes. This short definitely showed a lot of talent, and I loved the twist at the end. Definitely caught me off guard. It was really good.
I thought the storytelling and the animation style was really great. I loved the premise and the sense of suspense, and that the suspense that kind of builds with each visual revelation in the story and the plot. And the conclusion I thought was really satisfying. So overall, it's a really, really great short animation film, highly recommended. And I'd love to see like a longer feature with these characters. They're definitely really interesting, and the universe that's created for them as well.
I really liked the animation. It reminded me a lot of the kind of animation you would see in Tim Burton films, kind of like Nightmare Before Christmas, Paranorman, Coraline. Um, of the three, I would lean more towards Nightmare Before Christmas, as it has a very sweet and innocent message. Um, I really loved the fact that our wolf friend, he's trying to hide himself from his friend, but when uh, the friend finds his true form, he opens himself up to our wolf friend to reveal, he's not who he appears to be either. Which kind of, I really liked that in this sense, Found You has a much different meaning. Um, it was very sweet, and I loved it.
It had cool lighting that matched the haunting tone. Um, it was a very fulfilling story too, like heartwarming in a sense, with the climax and finale of the story. Great characters and a meaningful arc.